Hello everybody! Thank you so much for joining me once more in my little D&D vlog about the adventure that I'm currently running for a group of friends of mine. We have been having so much fun with it, so hopefully this could also inspire you to try it as well. I thought I would just tell you the story from my perspective, how it's developing, what happened. You forgot to mention me. I will also be talking and commenting, remember? Yes. My alter ego, the dungeon mistress, will be giving her commentary as well. We have chosen the starter set, the Dragons of the Stormwreck Isle. And if you want to play this, maybe this video is not for you because you will be spoiled. I changed a bunch of things, but I don't think I changed enough for you not to be spoiled. So maybe this video is not for you, but if you want to play it as a dungeon master, maybe it can be helpful. And if you just are curious to see how the story goes, without further ado, let's get into the story.
Cleric, magician, rogue, paladin, fighter, with the dice in your favor, your glory glows brighter. When human, dwarf, elves, and a halfling unite, with trust and loyalty, they stand and fight.
We start our story on a ship that will bring our four heroes to the Stormwreck Isle. It is being steered by an old, cranky, and half-deaf captain. There's a clue there, a very clever hidden clue. Yes. Did you remember to give this clue to your players? Okay. Well, Aradir is under deck and reading the letter of his friend Yimek, trying to find a clue on what might have happened to him. The other three heroes are on deck and enjoying the beautiful view of the isle and the lovely weather. They can see Dragonrest and this beautiful temple on top of the stony cliffs. Once they arrive, they have to change from the big ship to a little rowing boat, which is kind of a shaky situation because we have the paladin on one side and the halfling on the other one, but they manage. They get to the shore and they decide to go to the town and see what is going on there. Once they start to walk away, they hear gurgling, wet steps, noises, and groaning. They turn around and see three zombies arriving. They are slowly but steadily going towards them and probably want to attack them. So they do not waver. They think, okay, we have to defend the people of this town, so we will fight with the zombies. The paladin goes to the front, and behind him there's Thrallin, that hates zombies. And behind her, there's Eladrin, and behind Eladrin is Aradir, who is a wizard, so kind of squishy, so he needs some protection. So they approach. One of the zombies has an eye patch and green face. The other one, you can see his intestines lurking out. And the third one has a torn shirt and a spear in hand. And he attacks with the spear. He actually hits Eladrin on the side, on her shoulder. And she feels that she's hurt, but it's not badly hurt, but there's something going on. There's something wrong. But they go into fighting right away. Once the first zombie reaches the paladin, he hits him with his axe and does quite a good amount of damage. He kind of slices him almost in two, but the zombie still attacks him back. So Thrallin attacks him with her holy flame, and Aradir tries to attack him with his frost attack. But that doesn't really go well. He rolled a 1. So I made him attack his own hand instead. Nevertheless, Eladrin attacks with her sneak attack because she notices that the zombie is now worried about fighting the paladin, and so she can do that. And that actually kills him off. And so only 2 zombies are remaining. Both zombies approach the paladin as well. The first one tries to attack him, misses. The second one actually gets a hold of him and attacks him. He is now hurt, but he fights for his life. Thrallin attacks them again with her holy attack, and this does quite a good amount of damage, and they notice, okay, zombies do not like this. Eladrin again tries her sneak attack, and from the back, Arodir attacks them with the frost attack, which slows them down a little bit, so it's very handy. And the paladin kills one of the zombies, and the second zombie is killed by Thrallin. So now they can take a breath again, regroup. The paladin heals himself, and Arodir helps him out a little bit by cleaning the zombie remains from him. And Thrallin goes to Eladrin to try to check on her and does a medicine check and tries to see what's happening with her. And she notices that something is wrong. Eladrin notices as well because she is much more exhausted than she should be after this small battle. And Thrallin finds out that she is actually poisoned now. So she will get more and more exhausted until she perhaps even dies if they don't do anything against it. I did that because now there's a plot hook, so Eladrin has to go on the adventure, and I did that. Great job. And so our heroes have to do something about it, and they decide to go to Dragonrest as fast as possible. Once they arrive at the town, they are enthusiastically welcomed by a group of kobolds that thank them so much for killing the zombies. Especially one young kobold called Kilnip is so impressed by them, by their fighting, by their bravery, by their magic, and he continues to ask them more and more questions. They are quite overwhelmed by his questions. So once Mula approaches them, they thankfully take that conversation on because she's a little bit calmer. She's a winged kobold with a smart face, and she tells them that they are now in Dragonrest and also thanks them for killing the zombies. They ask her about the zombies, and she says that the zombie attacks have been going really bad lately. They had always had some trouble with zombies, but not as bad as now. And maybe they should talk with Runara about this because she is the eldest and the one who is in charge of everyone here, and maybe she can tell them more about it. They also ask Mula if she knows someone that could help Eladrin. Thrallin especially asks about this, and Mula tells her that maybe Runara also knows how to help with that, or perhaps Tarak because he knows a lot about these things. So Thrallin of course also asks where they can find Runara, and while Mila is explaining how to get to her, Eladrin thinks, okay, I will just steal from her. Because the rogue stealing from the friendly NPC. I am not surprised. And she doesn't do a good job about it. So she fails, and everybody notices. And Mila is not happy about this. She doesn't know if she should let these people actually go to their town if that's what they're up to. So Thrallin has to convince her to trust her, and she says that she will vouch for Eladrin and she will take care that Eladrin doesn't do anything like this ever again. And that if she does something to anyone in Dragonrest, that she will make her face the consequences of this. And Mila accepts this, but she will not forget this interaction. Oh no, she won't. They go and try to find Runara next. And once they go towards the temple, Runara is actually approaching as well and wants to thank them for so kindly taking care of the zombie problem, and tells them that they are welcomed in this town and whatever they need they can have a place to stay, they are safe here, and they can also eat whatever they want. They are most welcomed in this town. So of course they thank her for that and ask her more about the zombies. She tells them that she thinks it is connected to a shipwreck that is called the Compass Rose, that is to the north of the isle. And that something changed. This shipwreck has been there for 50 years, and since then there has been this problem with zombies. But in recent time, there's so much more zombies that she's really worried. She doesn't know if she will be able to protect her people. But before anything, they want to see if they can do anything for Eladrin because she is poisoned. So they ask Runara about that. She also suggests Tarak, who is the cook of the town, and says that he knows a lot about these things and hopefully he can help her. Eladrin also wants to know if she knows of anyone in the town of ill repute that has anything to do with the Guild of the Golden Gallows. And Runara is kind of taken aback by this and says she doesn't know anything about it, and she generally doesn't care about the backgrounds of the people that come to her. She just cares about them being good people and peaceful people. So she doesn't think that there's anyone with that kind of background in her town. Eladrin accepts this and thinks that probably the person that she is searching for is somewhere else. So then Aradir also asks her if she knows anything about the observatory because he wants to go to the observatory. And now Eladrin gets really stern and says they should not go to the observatory. It is way too dangerous and she will not help them and they should just not go. Aradir does not accept this. He says, well, he has to go and he doesn't really care what she says. And she gets very strict and almost furious and says that they should definitely not go and that they don't know what they are talking about, and kind of wants to end the conversation by just telling them how to get to Tarak. Aradir is still not happy with this, but he doesn't say anything because he noticed that he doesn't get any new information from Runara this way. So the whole party decided to go to Tarak and try to find a solution for Eladrin's situation. Once they arrive at the kitchen, there's a wonderful smell, so they know they are at the right place. Someone is cooking perfectly. And they see a middle-aged, very gentle and kind-looking man that welcomes them. And when they ask him for something for Eladrin, he looks at her wound and sees right away what is wrong with her, but says that she needs a potion of health, and that he can't make that potion of health right now because he is missing a key ingredient for this. It's a mushroom that only the mushroom people could give him. These mushroom people live in a cave, but he cannot go to this cave, even though he used to do this a lot and trade with them. But just recently they have secluded themselves and they have put a guard at the start of the cave on the sea. And this is an octopus, a giant octopus. And once he tried to approach the cave, he got attacked by it. He got away with his life, but he's not keen on returning there ever again. But he tells them, well, maybe if you can fight the guard off and if you take this kitchen scrappings, which is what I always traded with them, maybe you can convince them to give you the mushrooms that you need. And so they take the kitchen scrappings with them and ask if he can do anything for Eladrin. And he says, yes, he can do something for her symptoms right now. He has some potions that could help her to get off of this exhaustion for about like 72 hours, but after that it won't have an effect. She has to take it at night and then on the next morning. So they decide to stay in the town and get some food and a good rest, and they go all together then to have dinner with everyone else in the main hall, and they are sitting there drinking and eating, and Tara comes in as well. He changed after cooking, and Thrallin looks at him and notices something strange. She notices a tattoo on his neck, and because of her background as a guard, she knows that this is from the Golden Gallows. And she remembers that Eladrin had said something about it. So she asks Eladrin about this. Eladrin then unexpectedly opens up to her and tells her that she was actually a part of this guild. Or maybe she is. This is not completely clear. But she left the guild because she heard some rumors about someone that had left her guild many years ago with a treasure. And the rumor said that this person might be on the Stormwreck Isle, so she is searching for it. Thrallin is very thankful for her openness and her honesty, so she tells her what she saw and what she found out about Tarak, and they both together decide to keep a close eye on him and maybe don't trust him too much right away. The cleric and the rogue bonding. Who would have thought? After the meal, they all go together to sleep and get a good rest in their lodgings, and Thrallin snores quite loudly, but still they can rest well, and they are all prepared for the next morning to go to the Seagrow Caves. On the next morning, they go to the Seagrow Caves. They take the fastest route through the inland, and it's an uneventful journey, so after a little while, about 2.5 hours, they arrive at the Seagrow Caves, and they are lucky because the tide is low, so they can actually see the entrance of the cave, and they see some steps going down towards it. So they go down the steps and into the cave that is dimly lit by bioluminescent mushrooms that are growing on the sides of the cave in green and blue. And in the center of the cave there is a big lake. So they enter the cave, and surprisingly a octopus arm grabs them. Because I rolled a 17 on stealth. One octopus arm grabs Thrallin, one octopus arm grabs our paladin Tibor, and both are held up in the air. Our wizard Arodir goes to the front and does his mighty thunder wave on the octopus arms that he can see in front of him. And he then makes 5 of these octopus arms blast off, and they are killed and they evaporate into spores. Are you kidding me? It's the first round. Are you kidding me? There are 3 octopus arms that are remaining, and they will keep on attacking. Also, Tibor is now in the water, and Thrallin is also in the water, so they have to find a way to get out of the water into the shore. Tibor has a good amount of swimming to do, so Eladrin thinks, okay, I can help him. And she gets her rope and throws him to him. That will definitely work. Definitely. And before she can do anything, she gets attacked by an octopus arm as well. So she is down. She is almost dead. So she has to be very, very careful what happens next. Thrallin, in the meantime, has gotten out of the water, and she goes to her friend and does her healing magic so Eladrin can get up again. While she's doing that, Arodir is attacking the other octopus arms, and he manages to hit it with his frost attack. And on the other hand, our paladin is still in the water. I think because of his armor, swimming is kind of hard, but he tries to swim to shore with one arm, and with the other arm he's still holding on to the rope. Once Eladrin has risen again, she grabs the other end of the rope and thinks that it's a good idea to now strangle the octopus arm with this rope. And then the octopus arm yanks up and frees herself from Eladrin, but not from the rope, And because our paladin is still on the rope, he is also now yanked up in the air once more and then smashed to the other side against the wall and gets quite hurt by this. At the same time, another arm actually grabs our wizard by his leg and pulls him down into water. Underwater, the wizard cannot do any magic, so he tries to fight it with his sword, but he misses once more and once more. So our heroes now observe how the wizard is being pulled down further and further underwater, completely helpless, not knowing what to do, while the paladin is being smashed on the other side of the lake. And this is where we will end the story, without really knowing how our heroes will get out of this one. If you have watched until the end, I thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Please let me know what you liked or disliked in the comments, and maybe you could consider to like this video and subscribe, especially if you want to know how this story will continue on the next episode, on our next vlog about this little D&D adventure. Thank you and bye.